Yeah, hello everyone. This is Cristiana El for the Pranic Consciousness Summit. We are here today again with Elitom El-Amin, our beautiful friend, and we will present him a little bit. Elitom is a holistic practitioner and researcher and healer, I might say, and he's the author of two fabulous books. One is called It's Okay to Be Healthy, and the other is Human Photosynthesis 101. He has been living on Prana for many years now, and he's sharing his wisdom and knowledge in workshops and gatherings all over the world. Thank you, Elitom, for being here with us.
Thank you.
Uh, Now we know that you are having news for us. We had an interview in February, but you have news for us with these new energies coming in. And how are you feeling, the new energies on the planet now? What's happening? What's going on maybe with your pranic intake and with whatever goes on the planet in terms of energy? What can you tell us about it?
What I see that's taking place now that before these energies just worked on certain places. But now since these energies are really picking up, more of the people who's in a prana arena is working with each other now. And what it's doing is speeding up the pace of the consensus reality of humanity. And this is a really great time that we're in where you actually see everybody working together in their development, growing together, and realizing that there need to be changes on the planet. So this is a real good time as we see these energies coming in, the flow of it, the whole dynamics of it, where people actually know not only they need changes within themselves, but also the external environment itself.
So you would say people are more open and willing to this change as the energy is pushing. Yeah.
Absolutely. We can see right now it has more leeway. Yes, when knowledge is new to a person, there is a rejection that first takes place when they never heard it before. But over a period of time, as they hear it more and more, and as we're spreading this message out, people are at least being more acceptable to it. And that's what is taking place right now.
That's fabulous to hear. And would you say there are more people who are nourished by the energy or chi or prana now on the planet? Are there more that are open to it? Yes?
Absolutely. And even the things, I usually go to places where I'm accepted. People will call me. You'd be surprised the turnout that I was at one place to over 100 people in 1 week. I mean, this was really awesome on how it was accepted in that area. Other areas are a little bit more denser. And at the same time, at least we're in this new age where people are talking about diet changes, losing weight, getting their health together. So you see, health consciousness is really picking up its pace all around the planet.
So people are starting wherever they are. Either they want to lighten up the diet, or they want to be healthier, or they want to just be happier with their families, and they are started from there, and eventually they get to a more beautiful state of consciousness. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, everybody's on different levels and degrees, and you only could start where you're at. I even tell people sometimes that sometimes the mind will pick up a thought. You don't want to push yourself too far out there. And I say, just keep it out. It'll be all right. You don't want to fall. You couldn't make that hard schedule on yourself. You don't need to do that now. These are with us. And the universe is user friendly. These energies are user friendly. Everybody, right where they at, you'd be surprised how much leeway and how much you could really pick up the pace just by allowing these energies to go.
So basically now the energy is moving faster, and whenever you make the commitment or the decision to change or to transform your body or your health or your relationships or whatever you want to transform, the energy just comes and supports and helps you and holds you in a way that has never been witnessed before. Yes?
Oh, absolutely. And see what's taking place, these energies always have been supporting you. Waking up to understand that this is the case. higher forces of energy, you don't need to make changes. And when you make those changes, that's where your life is disallowing. The body's like a rubber band. You stretched it out of shape, but once you allow these energies to come in, you'd be surprised how fast your body will get back in some form of health.
Perfect. That's good to hear. And we know you have been working in this field for how many years now? Tell
Oh,
us a little
17
about
now.
your journey. Tell us a little about your journey, please.
Oh, the whole journey's been fabulous. I mean, as soon as I woke up to some form of health consciousness, of course, it started where I was at, to leave the meats alone, go into veganism. And that was a beautiful transition. But I was also fortunate, too, to run into a vegan community. It was hard really trying to change your diet if you really don't have contact with others on that frame of thought. And even more, you got the internet, you could get all types of recipes. Even when you go grocery shopping, I tell people that the meat section is actually a small section. Other part of the store to do your shopping, you don't need to go there. Journey has been fabulous. On each level, I saw changes take place in my life, even going to live and raw foods. But I also found out that if you stay on a certain diet too long, you'll feel you again. So that right there will take you even further to start making little changes, subtle changes. Now, when I came into living on energy and prana, that was a great, how should I say, start of my life that took place. I mean, at the beginning, it seemed like it was tough and struggles because I went to a way where regular life, going to work, dealing with these energies. So I learned the ups and downs. But I found out that this makes me into a better teacher to help people now on what I went through. So it makes it easier. Sometimes people go down a path first and they could come back and help others. So this whole journey, I will actually tell it to everybody. And this is why I'm on a mission right now to really get this message out all over the world.
So it's beautiful to hear that, like many of us, your path has been, also supported and held, and you've been helped in this. But it was also a path of personal decision. So you took the decision to evolve and to lighten up the diet and to get to a higher degree of consciousness, and then life went along with it. When have you decided, or make the switch of nourishment, where you knew that you can be nourished by prana? What made you, what convinced you that you can lead this lifestyle without any concerns?
Well, the main thing, I want to grow. There's no way in the world I'm going to live this lifetime knowing that I have the ability to grow, and I do want to grow into a higher consciousness. So that's always the first thing on my mind, wanting to grow. I just don't want to live a normal life, go to the grave, die. I want to live a life of health, joy, peace, happiness, and I have a chance to make these things happen. The main motivation behind this, and also to share this with others, is a beautiful thing. So growth is first and foremost in my life. And that's what keeps me on this path and this thought.
It's a good place to start from. And we can see that for many of us, living on prana has never been the primary goal, yes? But usually it has been more harmony, more joy, more peace inside, or bringing a better vibration to people, a growth, as you said. So many of us never set the goal of I don't want to eat, yes?
Right, many people are like that, and it's hard to fathom when you never heard this before. Why you want to do that? That's enjoyment. But at the same time, the health benefits of it overrides these other pleasures that we think are pleasurable. And when you make that transition, you find out that that wasn't really pleasurable at all. You were basically so right now, when you make that transition, I don't see no way in the world you can go back. I heard there's people who have, but I can't see that
So
in
for
this
you,
space of time.
so for you, there was no trying to go back to food after you finally stabilized yourself into this way of nourishment. You never try to eat socially or have a little bite here and then and things like that. You weren't tempted by it.
Well, you go through your different stages too that I teach about the baby stages, the teenage stages, and the adult stages. You have to use wisdom too as you're growing into this, because you have to figure out your whole lifestyle, especially if you used to going to social gatherings. You still can take part of it in your beginning stages until you get stronger, because you don't know what to do with the rest of your time yet. Once you get that incorporated in your life, what to do with the rest of your time, you go full blown into it is totally different. Right now, I have no qualms in my mind to go to different gatherings. And if I do, I don't care about standing out anymore. So that's a whole nother ball game that people have to go through. So once you make that transition on what to do with the rest of your time, and don't be scared to be who you are, that's a whole nother ball game that comes with the whole package of being a full-blown vegetarian.
And we see that when you say what to do with the rest of your time, you mean the time that is earned by using less energy for digestion, yes? Because
Oh,
many of us sleep less, many of us, use less time or no time for cooking because you don't cook as you don't eat. And you have plenty of time left for doing other things, yes?
oh, absolutely. And even throughout your day, most people eat because of boredom and stuff like that. To really know what to do with your time is a whole nother ball game that people have to deal with. For breatharian lifestyle, you actually transition into a whole nother animal process going on. You went from a earth being to an air being, basically.
Yeah,
That's a whole two different life.
we often feel that we are living like air beings, and my personal struggle with it was that I felt too airy at some point, and too not earthling, and this was challenging for me, and I've met
Right.
others with this challenge. What would you recommend?
Oh, well, like I say, on that transition right there, that's another thing on how you're feeling real airy like that and so forth. You're standing out again within your own mind. But over a period of time, you'll get used to that feeling. You'll start weighing it out. That's my thing right there. So right now, I enjoy being this way. It's sort of like if you met a person that has a high IQ of 160 compared to somebody who's 100. That's two different thought processes taking place.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thought process dealing with this. A person is eating compared to a person who don't eat. There's two different thought processes altogether.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So as as one gets used to being smarter, one other can get used to being lighter. Yes.
Right. And it's sort of, I was thinking a couple days ago, because I'm writing a new book, but I was like, sometimes, like where I'm at now, you don't think about the things you used to do. Like I'm sitting there, I'm waking up in the morning, and it's like, wow, about breakfast. It's not even there. You're thinking about other stuff in your day. Should I go to the gym? Should I take a walk first? Stuff like that. Your thought process is totally different. You're not thinking about lunchtime and what to
Of
eat.
course.
You're not thinking about it. That thought process is totally out of your life altogether. You don't even think about it.
So the first step, yes, of course. And the first step would be to eliminate the necessity of thinking about food and the habitual thinking of what to eat, when to eat, where to eat, who to eat with. Probably this is a habitual thinking for most of the people that leads them into eating when they don't need to.
Oh, absolutely. And you'd be surprised how much, it's all in your mind. Mental. I used to say 80%, but it's 100%. You are thinking about
Yeah.
that way. That lifestyle. Your body is. Once you start fading off that way of thinking, mode of thought, you're going to bring into another reality, and you're going to actually function totally different.
That sounds
There's
wonderful,
no
and
other way.
We know it's all about the programming and it's all about mind over matter,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
it's the mind that shapes the matter and shapes the reality we're in. And there's not only a thing that they say in the documentaries or the movies. We've also experienced it directly. Um, what are you doing with your time? How do you spend the day? Can you tell us? Or a week?
Oh, this is awesome.
I know. Share with us.
And then here we go with that thought process again. I was just thinking a couple of days ago, like when I woke up, like I said, um, it's now I'm living this life where food is out of it altogether. You're doing everything else functioning, visiting friends, talking to family. Mainly, I like studying and reading a lot. So I'm into that. And you got this whole day to study, to do this. And this is what I do basically in my lifestyle. I love it. Love making up new things to try to help people, write new books and so forth. So that's basically my lifestyle right there, in a nutshell.
That's perfect. Yes,
This is a
please.
biological thing. See, once you learn more about biology and chemistry, you're learning about yourself. See, when we deal with the glands of the body, like your pineal gland and your pituitary gland, you have to understand they do work. You got to understand your body works. So when you get into this form of lifestyle of not eating, your body, it works to maintain what they say 98.6 degrees. So you're like 100 degrees walking around. You're this vessel. Right there, you're like a combustion energy of 100 degrees. The reason why a person eats, it's like they're throwing wood on the fire, so your body can maintain that 100 degrees. So now the key is you're just going to another energy source. Instead of wood or coal for fuel, which we call fossil fuels, you're going into other fuels, the fuel of the sun, the fuel of nature. And you're allowing the glands of your body, when it secretes hormones into your blood, to be the new fuel source for the body. It allow it to work. And your blood flow, your blood circulation, your body has all these cycles going on from the sexual energy. That's constantly being your semen. Now that's the foundation I'm going to talk about on sex education.
Absolutely, I subscribe to that. You're totally right.
Right, because your pituitary and pineal gland is connected to your gonad.
Absolutely.
Steady start coming up, it's going to start being a new elixir for the body.
Thank you
This
for
is going to be
sharing
taught
that.
more and more.
Thank you for sharing that, and that's very important. And to make a parenthesis here, with this new package that we have on the Pranic Consciousness Summit, the Lifetime Package, we also prepared two important meditations that deal with the energy recalibration. One of them is working on the endocrine system. So working on each gland, working on each gland and fine-tuning them, each one of them, with the light so that they can use to a different nourishment and a different vibration, and also recirculating the energy, the sexual energy, and guiding it throughout the body and towards the organs that may need clearing or energizing, the internal organs. So this is a powerful energizing exercise just for that, just for building more prana in the body.
And that's basically
totally right.
That is awesome what you just said, because that's one of the foundations, I believe, of breath in. When you're dealing with the endocrine glands, the secretions that's going into the blood, the sexual energy, the seminal fluids. You got different secretions coming from the heart, the liver. The blood takes itself out, it starts more smoothly within the body, because in esoteric knowledge, they talk about fire, the water, and the light. The water just deals with these fluids in our body going smoothly. The fire, like I said, our body's 100 degrees. These secretions are making a new elixir within the body itself that energizes itself. The outer light and the inner light, when they go together, you will be self-sustaining. Dedication, a person.
Absolutely. We'll make a post here to share with the viewers that the quality of image and sound very much depends on the internet connection. So if at some point you don't understand or don't hear well what's going on in our conversation, just be sure that I will repeat it so that you can hear what Elitom say or what I'm saying, because the internet connection we cannot control. Thank you so much for understanding. Okay, so back to Elitom again. Yes, you're very right with what you said, and we've also studied. We know you've also studied the Taoist techniques and maybe the Egyptian techniques of building chi in the body. Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
this is what I feel
And
you
chi
are
is
connected to. Mhm.
oh, absolutely. And chi is one thing, and people got their different definitions of it. But we also got two more that's called Jing. That's where you start getting healthier. There's a whole nother vibration coming from the body. And then we got Shin, which deals with the middle thought process. The middle thought process, all three of these thought processes go together. Many different schools of thought around the planet, like we said, from Egyptian, from more the Taoist, but they're all talking about the same thing, just using different terminologies around the world.
Different wording, yes, and it's very important to understand that there is a source of energy that runs through the body that can be channeled. What would you share with the people that have tried to go through this pranic journey? You know, various processes now in the world, the 8-day process, 10-day process, 21-day process. We are teaching the Luscious Lifestyle program, which is a more gradual process in which you include some basic steps in your day-to-day life so that the transition is smoother and you just go to prana whenever you're ready. What would you say to someone who has tried them all or who have tried several of them, as I have talked to people these days about it, and still are needing food for nourishment? What would your message be to them?
Well, earlier when we was talking about the different glands and stuff in the body, I feel an individual need to learn more about energy work, because they have in their mind, if I just stop eating, I am going to survive. And they're not giving their body time to pick up its energies and get these different secretions so the body can have something to survive off of. Also, the state of losing weight, like looking unattractive. All of that does not go with the package at all. Allow these energies, these different cycles in the body to really catch up. You'll be surprised in the wonders you'll have as you go into these transitions. But like we said earlier, biology, which is the study of life, and chemistry is just dealing with the what? Study of chemicals. And all of these things to learn more about yourself. To know thyself is to know the universe.
Amen. I also feel to share about the study that it's very important for nourishing the mental body, because we've trained our minds to think in a certain way and to have certain patterns and to be oriented towards certain directions, not necessarily positive directions, especially if we're watching the news and stuff. And
Right.
each body, so the physical, emotional, mental, and so on, need their nourishment. The mental body, which is taking a huge amount of your energy, usually needs good
Oh, absolutely.
nourishment as well. And study is a good way of nourishing it. Instead of letting your thoughts run about to whatever subject they like, you channel it to good information, and from there, there's a good nourishment for the other bodies as well.
Oh, absolutely. And like you
Mhm.
said, the brain, it requires at least 20% of the energy of your body. That's the whole ball game right there. So earlier we was talking about these secretions in the body. You got your serotonin in the daytime coming from the pineal gland, melatonin at night. These different things that's taking place in the body, that shows right here you're connected to nature. Now, going back to sexual energy, we was talking about these criminal fluids going up and down the spinal cord. It's required for that to help sustain the brain. Again, it's demanding 20% of the energy of the body. So that's why that is so important. So also what we were saying earlier, a lot of people have trouble making these transitions because they don't know the power or the nature of vital energy through sex and not understanding that this is a main point. It's demanding. You also have in India what they call ojas, once a month when the full moon comes, and it actually from your breathing for which you ate actually goes upwards into the brain. All of these cycles is required. So allow yourself to really feel the energies of these cycles, how your body will transition itself into being a non-eating being altogether, and it will become a reality.
Yes, that's for sure. And for most of the people, this sexual energy is either spilled out through sex or held in the lower centers of the body, so below the navel, which of course makes the mind be a little unfocused and a little unnourished. And when we take the time to circulate it, either in individual practices or in couple practices, we get the chance to get the most of this energy, which is basically used for creation, either babies or books or other things that you can create in this world, and also nourish the body as well.
Absolutely.
And getting to the books, yeah, sorry, we're listening.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just stopped for you to be able to continue the what you were saying because I finished.
Well, basically what you were saying, yeah, the sexual energies being stuck in those lower chakras like that. That's the whole fundamental thing right there is to get these lower energies within the body to raise themselves upwards. You can even see a different symbolism as the Confucius that they use in the medical field. Serpents coming up. They're telling you right there, if you allow those serpents to come up, you won't have to come see me, the doctor.
Yeah, right. And we know that you've written 2 books, and I'm very interested because even when I first heard of the ability of being nourished by prana in 2010 or 2009, I was sure that this is possible. And the next thought that came is, well, this is like photosynthesis. This might be the same system. Okay. And now I even hear there is a book about it. And I want to know more about this human photosynthesis that you have discovered and named. Tell us something about
it. See, photo means light, and synthesis means combining or putting things together. So earlier, we were talking about these secretions that goes into the blood from the different endocrine glands within the body. The body knows what to do. These glands do work, and as you allow them to work, it synthesizes itself with the light that's around us, the UV light especially, or your negative ions in nature. You'd be surprised at how your body, by its nature, will stay healthy, and it will also, once you understand the knowledge, become self-sustaining. When I deal with the book Human Photosynthesis 101, yes, we're doing the same thing plants can do. Basically, our skin is the biggest organ on our body, and it's connected to all the organs. You just don't realize that you're not only just breathing with your lungs, your whole body's breathing. This is a perfect environment that we live in, and this environment was created to actually sustain us. They had a great scientific thing called Biosphere 1 and Biosphere 2. Different scientists got around the world, got together, and their whole goal was to create an atmosphere that was self-sustaining away from the one that we're in. Both experiments failed. This is what the doctor said, or the scientist said. He said the failure was good because it allowed us to know how much we don't know about nature and life. So as we talk now about how this environment, this perfect environment, has the ability to sustain the human being, it's sort of like a fish in a fish tank. It needs the water around it to keep it alive. It's actually the one that's keeping us alive, not the external things that we think that's keeping us alive. That's an illusion. The body is self-sustaining, and the fall of consciousness is that man is running around trying to get other things that's external to make him what? Give him life, and it's not giving him life at all.
How do you think, what comes to me now is, how do you think humanity got into this uh, eating process altogether? Do you think there were civilizations on Earth that were able to be nourished by just energy, and at some point this thing shifted into eating physical food, or how do you see this?
Well, through my studies, through my studies of really dealing with what the ancient civilizations and so forth, I see the symbolism all through there, the different wordings. That yes, people knew about this knowledge sustaining on energy. That's where I got it from. I didn't get it from the knowledge of today. I got it from the knowledge of yesterday. And this makes it stronger when I teach. So it's a remembering. And also, how we got in this predicament, I can purposely that the knowledge was put away and hidden for whatever reason. I don't know. But right now, we're built under the laws and instructions of truth. I'm back out, and that's what's taking place right now is humanity is waking up. So like we said, it's like a...
Yes. Go ahead.
Because you got the three different things I talk about: physical body, our whole makeup. Then you got the environment, but you got this perfect correspondence, I call it, or the laws that governs us. And the more a person rotates back into their original diet, the healthier they become. And with the original diet again is by allowing these forces or these universal laws sustain, and they will when you come into them more and more.
So going back to where we started, and you would say that we were pre-designed to be nourished in this way.
Oh, absolutely. What makes us different than the other is that we can actually make a plan. You want to start running a marathon, you understand you got to start training a certain way. That you're not going to be sitting on the couch just watching TV saying you'll run a marathon that day when it comes.
That's a good one, and we want to go deeper in that because there is a training for this remembering. What would you recommend? What are the steps that you recommend to retrain the body to be nourished in a lighter way, or maybe just by light?
Well, the main thing is not so much of what you put into your body, but what you don't put into your body. So, number one is making these diet changes and allow these diet changes to work for you. It amazes me when you see a person who weighed 300 pounds, they lost 100 pounds. Good for them. That is awesome. So no matter where you're at, by understanding, getting your health together, because in my first book, It's Okay to Be Healthy, that's basically what it's presenting to a person. Go get healthy first. And yes, living on light does exist, but first, see what you can do with your body and your mind by working with yourself. In Human Photosynthesis 101, my second book just goes a little further with it. You say, okay, here we go. This is what you do. This is your training. This is how you have to think. This is how you work. And it goes deeper into it altogether. But on these different stages, as you said, what do you recommend to a person, to make these changes or to think differently, to think more healthy? That's it right there. That right there opens up a remembrance. Because right there, you actually seek out or put out the vibration of health and to seek certain things that will come to you to better your life.
So the first step would be to set a goal towards a higher vibration or to a better health, and following the guidance towards that. So absolutely. Changing the way we eat, changing the choices we make, yes. And especially dietary changes. And what else?
And see, right now, you also got to understand that we're like transceivers of energy. Energy transmitting. but you're also receiving energies. And you'd be
Yes.
surprised, like how we say thoughts is create your reality. It's hard to believe that at first. You be into this cycle or be into this way of learning, you'll find out it's actually real. For instance, meats alone, I didn't know about the fullness of a vegan diet. But just by me being dedicated to say I'm going to start where I'm at, my mind created or led me to meet a whole vegan community that was around me all the time. I didn't know it existed because I was not on that frequency or vibration. Then when I went into live and raw foods, same thing happened. The energy went out. I stayed dedicated. Pretty soon I met people in my area who was on live and raw foods. They always been there. I just couldn't see them. Then likewise, when I went into the breatharian world, now it took a lot longer because there's more people, less people that's into that. But it was over a period of time I met other breatharians. So you put out that frequency in the universe, the energy that's in you will guide you to where you need to go and the people you need to see in order to keep on growing.
What were your struggles with this process? What was the most challenging thing you have experienced while you were on the path from veganism to pranic living to not eating physical food? What did you met?
One of the main challenges was other people. Because at first they never heard that, and you're being attacked left and right. So you go through that right there. And I mean, it was in the beginning stages, it was really tough. You know, when I was starting out, especially the area I'm at 17 years ago. Even it was so tough that I was out of class one time, and even the teacher over the microphone said, "We got to eat food," and everybody looks at me left and right.
Yeah.
Everybody running up direction. Right, it got stronger. It became a reality. More information is coming out to humanity, so everybody's like who fought against me at the time is backed up now. So people was the main struggle going through that. Of course, some people will say, get that fear-based frequency. Be careful. You have to do this. You have to do that. So even you in your baby stages don't have enough information yet. You might fall for that frequency. But like I said, now they got totally. It's a whole different ball game now that's taking place on the.
And now, where are you with the pranic living? Are you still using liquids, juices, tea, a warm drink from time to time? Are you just using water? Are you not using anything or eating or drinking? How are you now and for how long?
Right now, it's nothing. I want that challenge right there. And even where I'm headed right now, I'm going to a place where there's more people acceptable to the knowledge. And that will really boost me. See, sometimes you have to put yourself in a predicament for your growth also, instead of just staying living in the same place. So I've been preparing myself for the last 4 months with no liquids whatsoever to go into this new transition because that's where I want to go with my life. Also living in a whole nother atmosphere, it more indulged in nature. So I'm leaving the urban place altogether. So that's where I want to go with my life. So therefore, I'll be living in nature up on a mountain with no liquids whatsoever because I also want to push this knowledge to humanity. You need an example of somebody who's going to be real to allow humanity to know that this is taking place. Because like I said, it was hard in the beginning stages dealing with people. I don't want others on this path to go through that either. So right now you got people that's coming out never before that's actually going to be full-blown examples to humanity that this exists.
So we knew we were discussing in maybe without them so far, and how do you feel? What are the challenges with this new step?
Oh, actually, it was just more understanding about myself. When you're dealing with your blood flow, especially as you were talking earlier about, that's what I'm glad you're having these workshops dealing with the dealing with these secretions coming in the blood right there, that is the foundation. Once, because like when the blood leaves your heart, it actually takes 7 minutes to make a full cycle around the body before it reaches the heart again. So you're up under these different cycles. We allow those cycles to flow smoothly. Not only you don't need food, you don't need liquids either. Your body produces a fluid in the brain called your cerebral spinal fluid. It's created in the brain. And when you allow that fluid to go up and down the spinal column unhindered, then again, you don't need liquids again. The liquids is being produced inside your body. And then we'll just talk about sex education. As these fluids go down your spine, hitting the sexual gonads, and you got that seminal fluid going back up to the brain constantly, up and down the ladder, like how they say, Jacob's ladder. That right there feeds the body, because your body's constantly making these seminal fluids also. It makes fluids. So to go there and to see the fullness of what you can do, like we were saying earlier, I want to live a life seeing how far I can go in what? To my highest potential possible.
Yes, so basically we have everything we need inside the body. There's not,
Absolutely.
how you put it now, there's not even a need to take from outside, from the nature elements, or, the cosmic, or the earth energy, nothing else than the fluids that we have and the energy that we have inside.
So like I started out saying before, these glands in the body do work. Once you understand this, allow them to work. And your body's constantly producing these fluids and everything else you need, dealing on a, how we say, human photosynthesis level.
Mm-hmm. That's very true and very interesting. And what do you think stops most people from allowing this process to happen?
Well, step number one, that a lot of people don't know about.
For those who know that. For those who know that.
And for those who it's dealing with other corrections that's taking place in their life. I gotta bring it up again. We talk about the sexual energy or orgasm, and there's some who's overindulging, organs grabbing from the body, so they're struggling going into other things. Not getting enough UV light, in other words, being too much in front of computers, cell phones, so forth like this. In other words, staying around positive ions of air conditioning and stuff like this. Understanding that you can put yourself in a different situation, allow the body to feed more, the more you come in tune with nature. Because when you're dealing with these laws that we're under, they're also internally taking place. Just eating meat, for instance, you get more gelatin into the body, into the blood. The blood is thicker. The person usually ends up with high blood pressure, strokes, diabetes. You're violating the laws of nature right there that's inside you. You understand? That's the only way it took place, and it wouldn't have took place. So when we talk this other method, it's not far-fetched at all. That a person can what? Get themselves that sick, that much overweight. I think that's be on that level. So what we're talking about is not far-fetched at all right now.
For sure. So what you're saying is that basically it's a choice. It's a matter of choice and a matter of lifestyle. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's very, very important also where you choose to dwell during the day. And you were talking about the negative ions. Please share with people where one can find those. Where are these? I'm also correlating it with the yin energy of the planet. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. If you want to use that terminology.
Yeah,
but it's basically
some people know about the yin and yang and how they flow, in nature and in the body, and it's good to make the correlation between science and or Oriental terminology. Where do we find this negative ions?
the best places to get negative ions is usually near rivers, lakes, a lot of trees, in nature. Period. On mountains, near beaches. Again, in nature, you will feel this take place on your body. Closed in place where there's positive ions and air conditioners and stuff like this. And you will actually feel your body start feeling good, actually, being around these negative ions. They also have negative ions machines where it will actually rate on how much of these ions is in certain places. You can look that up on the internet.
That's good to know. That's good to know for the inner environment, for the office, or yeah, for when you're in the house. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And wherever there's nature, to sum it up, I heard of a situation. So I was talking to some people even yesterday. So people who are leading a balanced lifestyle, they are eating correctly. They mostly have a raw vegan way of feeding themselves. They do meditate a few times a day. They do exercise for the body. They only drink water, so no alcohol, no coffee, no other things that would burden the body. And they shared with me that when they were in nature, for some time, they felt at some point that they, that they even feel more ungrounded. They didn't know what to do because they were feeling this very, very, very high energy that was making them feel ungrounded. What would you advise for this situation?
Where the body has got used to that environment, the body do get fed into the environment. It's sort of like where I live at right now. The average person that lives here don't know how heavy the energy is. And I come back and I say, wow, it's so heavy here. But the people here, they're so used to it.
Yeah, we understand that. And
So
this
when you're living and you go to another, your body needs time. It's sort of like catching jet lag when you go someplace. Or there's some environments that's more nutritious than others. Your body just haven't made that transition into that new environment. And sometimes you might even have to make certain changes within your lifestyle to get used to a new environment.
Can you share an example or two?
Well, sort of like, how should I say? It might be an environment that will force you to what? Drink more, picks itself up into the new environment. Or sort of one time, I remember I traveled from Ohio going towards the southern states of America. And just by going through the different weather changes, because while I left, it was snowing real bad. To the other regions where it start warming up, I could feel the vibration on my body taking place. So right there, how environment changes you is really something. But I found myself drinking more liquids when I was up in a colder climate. A lot of that was from boredom.
Yes, I understand.
I found out my body started loosening itself up, so it didn't need that type of pleasure anymore.
Perfect.
So there's changes to take place.
So it's very good to know that we have to always stay in tune with the body and at each moment feel what it needs, not do things just the way we're used to, not do things by habit. Yes, maybe you've been on your no liquids for 4 months, and at some point you go in a different environment or a different situation where you just need to drink, and if you don't drink out of habit, the body would have some issues. Or you have been used to drink or to eat, and at some point you go in an environment where you don't need to do these two things. You just need to live on prana, like it happens to me. For a while I might be eating very light food or have juices, and at some point I go into a new environment where I don't need to drink or eat, and I have to quickly adapt and see what my body really needs and not eat or drink out of habit.
Absolutely. And see, dealing with electromagnetism, everything has an energy around it. There's even practices too that we really don't think about and pay much attention to. It's also dealing with a practice called feng shui.
Yeah.
Things in your environment that also will better nourish the body or help with its health. The way to set your furniture in your house, where you set your bed at, where you're sleeping. The importance it affects our body. This lifestyle goes way beyond what we're talking about. You start changing the whole dynamics of your life to feed you pranically.
Yes, and it's all about fine-tunement and refining and seeing what it needs to be done or changed inside you and in the environment as well. To put it in a different way, it's all about staying conscious. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. That's what it's all about. Maintaining this mind. Like we said earlier, your brain demands what? Most of the energy of your body. So like we said, in order to see in darkness, you need more light.
Okay, so we'll end up with this because it's important for the summit to see what does pranic consciousness mean to you? How would you define pranic consciousness? Beyond eating or not eating, this is just just a tool.
Pranic consciousness to me means basically, because it changes for me all the time throughout the years, on the definition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but like we said earlier, your mind, what? Controls 100% of your reality. Pranic consciousness to me is when a person is in that type of realization and take responsibility for their thought process. I hope I said that right.
Yes, it's the right thing for you, and I'm sure it's the right thing for many of us. And yes, taking responsibility and being cautious of how you impact yourself and the environment when walking through
Absolutely.
the.
Alert.
Okay, so we thank you so much for your time. Is there anything you want to share, or you feel called to share with our viewers?
Oh, well, this has been a great talk we had, and I love it. And I just tell everybody, hopefully I'll see you one day, see you soon. I know there's, 7 billion people on the planet, but I'm going to try to see you all.
Yeah, and because you mentioned it, we were also bringing up immortality in order to be able to see us all. It would be, yeah. How do you feel about that and pranic journey? Not to forget.
Oh, absolutely. It's sort of like I said before when you're dealing with breatharianism. And when you're dealing with that, you're dealing with perfection. If you're dealing with perfection, you're dealing with a perfect environment that's sustaining you. So therefore, the only thing you know is existence. So we don't know nothing about being in non-existence. Now, there was a time we didn't exist. We were not here, but now you exist. That's all you know. So once you understand this cycle of life and this memory is already in you to keep on living. So immortality, yes. Longevity / immortality, just keep on living. And I can see that taking place. It's sort of like technology. With over the last couple of years, this is about my 3rd different laptop that could not hang with me. But I've seen a documentary where there was a man that's 109. I thought about it. That's amazing on that type of a device for his heart to beat 109 years, both day and night, every day. That is incredible. Right there, that piece of equipment right there, if you want to look at that in that manner, both day and night, and it could keep on beating.
Could you share?
Right there.
Could you share again the name of the man, because we didn't get it right?
Oh, well, I don't know his name right off the bat, but he is on 109 years old on YouTube. And the main thing he told people on how to live life was to treat others good. Philosophy. So right there, that's a frequency right there that I could see, or a vibration on this man's character.
Fantastic,
But
yes.
immortality, the more you stay into this also, because like even when I started this journey, which was what, 17 years ago, and the main thing was for alone before that, it was due to health purposes. So once you understand, like with my people, learn to heal yourself first. Diseases, you should be able to heal yourself. Your body, its nature will heal itself because you don't want to get it sick. Once you understand that you have that type of power over yourself to heal yourself or to make yourself sick. Once
Some
you
do
understand
have that power, yeah.
you should have the power to what? Keep on living, keep on existing. Because the universal laws that govern you is not changing at all. You just have to make those changes into it.
That's fabulous to hear, and that's a good mantra to use. Keep on living. I mean, what else is there to do? And thank you so much for sharing with us. And where would do you? Oh, sorry. Where do we see you next? I was mixing up words. Where do we see you next? What's your next best thing?
Oh, my next, where would you see that? Oh, well, actually, we got a big, the big festival in Italy coming up. So we could put that out there.
Yes, for sure.
Breatharians all over the place getting together in Concord, Italy, given by Nicholas Piletti. And that's going to be wonderful just to get all that information coming out that I'm preparing for. And after that, I'll be teaching in the Canary Islands from there for a while. Retreats there, and it'll be real nice, good environment, good people I've met. So those will be my next things.
So it's fabulous to know that people can also find you there. So in Italy and in the Canary Islands. And for the viewers and the ones who are viewing this recording after we finish, you find all the details and contact data of Elitom on the Pranic Consciousness Summit participants page. So if you go on our website and you go to the participant page in the upper bar of the website, you can see there the link to his Facebook page and the link to his website, and you can share the link right here. How is your new website called? Because it looks fabulous.
Oh, Elitom, El-Amin.com.
Oh, so it's like your name.com. Very, very simple. You can find all the data about the new gatherings that he's doing on the website. And you can join us also tomorrow at 12 p.m. to see the live streaming with Erica Witten, which will be sharing about the ancient civilizations, her Pranic journey and her journey as a peace ambassador all over the world, and many, many other news. And yeah, feel free to see all the other meetings on the video page that you received after the subscription, and also tune in to the meditation that we've sent on the new lifetime package of the Pranic Consciousness Summit. So thank you all for joining us, and thanks Elitom for your participation and kindness to be here with us again.
Oh, absolutely.
Hugs of love to everyone, and see you soon on the Pranic Consciousness Summit page or in Italy for the festival. Hugs of love and bye-bye.